it's been nearly 7 whole years since the release of the Apollo Saturn V. It seemed inevitable that we would get an epic follow-up to the set, as plenty of rockets have continued to reach 10,000 supporters on the LEGO Ideas platform. They're undoubtedly popular, and at long last, here we are with the brand new Artemis space launch system. With the Saturn V being one of my favorite sets of the last decade, the SLS was always going to be a winner for me. I can't wait to show you what this set has to offer, so hey, let's take a closer look. Thanks to LEGO for sending me this set early to review. You'll be able to pick it up for yourself from LEGO.com starting on May 15th alongside the Milky Way Galaxy art set. When the rumors suggested we'd be getting NASA's latest rocket, I was definitely thinking we'd get another model that would scale nicely alongside the Saturn V. So let's get this out of the way in case you're still wondering. No, these are definitely not compatible. I was pretty surprised by LEGO's full-on commitment to doing the mobile launch platform. I'd say around 75% of the parts and build time go into creating the tower. And it is quite unlike any other build experience I've had from LEGO before, relying on some techniques that made me feel more like I was building a mock than an official set. This is an 18+ building experience through and through. There's a level of precision required here that you wouldn't expect out of building something like, say, a modular building. And no, the build process is not for the faint of heart. The tower is indeed repetitive, but honestly, the completed model makes it so worthwhile. Along the way, I was delighted to find a few fun facts sprinkled into the instructions too, in addition to plenty of pages up front explaining what the SLS actually is. So yeah, over the course of the build, I really warmed up to the idea of the launch platform. It makes the set so much more unique when compared to the standalone rocket of the Saturn V. There's a few functions put into the tower too, like retractable umbilicals, rocket supports, and a crew bridge. But of course, we need to talk about the rocket. It's the last thing you build, and it does feel like you finish on a high note. The rocket uses only a fraction of the pieces like we talked about before, and it comes together very quickly. The only thing that's going to slow you down are some really weird stickers, like these lines that you wrap around the entire circumference of these circular bricks, and these tiny grid detailings that are definitely a pain to align just right. Unsurprisingly, the stickers that attach to the cones don't seem to be staying on too well. This is definitely something LEGO should be printing. But you'll be happy to see that even with all these stickers, there are some printed elements on the rocket. Icons must have missed the memo from Star Wars though, that we print all the plaques now. Oh well. Like the Saturn V, the Artemis SLS does indeed have a payload. It's the Orion spacecraft packed tightly inside the nose of the rocket. The set even gives you a little stand to display it separately. In addition to that, the rocket's side boosters are easy to separate from the rocket, and I always like a big set like this, that it's more than just a static display model. When you bring it all together, it does make for an absolutely striking display piece. The size cannot be overstated. Look at it alongside Lion Knight's castle. Granted, it's considerably less dense, but it certainly holds its own. For a lover of all things space, this ended up being something of a dream set for me, and one that, like my good old Saturn V, might even earn the honor of not being immediately destroyed for parts. And speaking of parts, there's a few worth highlighting here, like the 6-long bar being made in orange for the first time, and the 1x8 plate with rail in dark orange, also brand new in this set. The half barrel in white is showing up here for only the second time after an appearance in 2022's LEGO City Rocket Launch Center, and another piece only those two sets share in common is the dark orange windscreens. I suppose the similarities aren't too surprising considering the city set is indeed based off the SLS. And with 88 nozzles in light bluish gray alone, this set has the most nozzles ever included in a set, beating out the previous holder of this obscure record, the Titanic, which had 80, 58 in white, 22 in gold. So considering the sheer size of the model and the obvious care that was put into its design, I'm inclined to say that the price of $260 isn't all that bad. If a standalone rocket's more your thing, it looks like you can find the Saturn V for about $100 less on Bricklink. And if you don't like rockets, well, I'm just glad you decided to watch this video anyway. That's gonna be all for me, folks. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great life.